This is the Nerd Coalition. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And now, feel the Nerdgasm. So, you know we're going to have to talk about it. Spike Lee at it again with another Spike Lee joint. Now, we haven't had like an official Spike Lee joint that came out in the theaters since Black Klansman. And I have to say, I was a fan of Black Klansman. All right, and I thought and he actually won an Oscar for that movie. Black Klansman was really good. So, but now this is highly anticipated because not only is Spike Lee back, Denzel is back, and they're doing another collaboration again. This time, the name of their movie is Highest to Lowest. Now, real quick, Highest to Lowest is kind of like a, I don't want to say a remake, but it's like loosely based on the 1963 movie the High Low, which is like
High and Low.
Yeah, the High and Low. I think it was like a Japanese film. And Spike Lee is a big fan of film and musicals, if anybody has not noticed that. So he, interpreted what that was. I never got to see High and Low. I never got to see it, but I wanted to check it out before I seen this movie. But High and Lowest finally came out. Here's the thing. Highest to Lowest came out in a limited release. I wanted to go see it in the movie theater, but they didn't have it in any of my movie theaters near me. Not even the biggest one, which is KOP. For everybody in the Philly area know about King of Prussia. That's one of the biggest movie theaters we got, and they only had like one showing while I was at work, and it was barely in there. So I said, let me just wait till it come to Apple TV. I went to Apple TV, and we was going to check this movie out. So I got Prime Time on here. We're going to review this movie. Now, this is the 5th project between Spike Lee and Denzel. So, just to run it all back real quick, we got Mo Better Blues. We got Malcolm X. We got He Got Game and Inside Man. Now, Highest to Lowest. Now, before Highest to Lowest even came out, the way I used to rank them was Malcolm X. Right under Malcolm X is Inside Man. Then Mo Better Blues. Then He Got Game. They're not bad movies. Just that I'll have to rank them. Would you kind of agree with that ranking, or did you like anything different?
I mean, I don't know. I would probably put He Got Game a little higher just because I like basketball. So, sometimes basketball in the movie done well. I probably would.
You was all for the Jesus Shuttlesworth, weren't you?
Yep. And the bad acting, Ray Allen.
Oh, Ray Allen is a bad actor.
Yeah, of course.
All right, so now we're into the 5th movie, so we're about to go in and we give it a review. Now, there's some things about this movie I liked, some things about the movie I didn't like. Okay, but we're gonna hit there and we're gonna talk about it. So, first off, to give y'all just like a brief synopsis of the movie, Denzel plays this record producer or like this record mogul, like. In a way, he's like Barry Gordy.
Well, that's not who I was going to say, but okay.
Who are you going to say? Like, go ahead, I'm listening.
I was going to say like Sean, but I would say he's more like Sean than like
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah,
I'm gonna just say I feel like, what's his name in the movie?
Find it out for you right now.
Something King. Is it
Oh, I do know he made everybody call him Mr. King. So his name is David King.
David, right? David, of course.
David King.
Might as well just been Denzel. You might as well just anyway. So, David in this movie, I feel like David, the way that he is, I feel like he's more like Sean. I feel like he want to be all up in the videos, all on the record. I feel like that's what I just feel it.
I honestly don't know if I gave that kind of vibe, because I feel like he wants to be in the videos. I think he just feel like he just has an eye for talent, and Sean Combs I wasn't necessarily getting. That's why I went with Barry Gordy, but I had to go with somebody newer. Ah, God, who is we're like in charge of like a?
You say he went more like Jay-Z or something?
No, but yeah, but I wouldn't say Hove neither. But it's more kind of, I mean, I can't say Suge Knight neither. So I'm just saying. So
look, I'm gonna be honest with you. For the first 30 minutes, I thought he was a villain.
You thought he was what?
The villain.
I can understand that. Well, real quick. So Dave Kidd, like I said, he's this big record mogul, right? And he has this record company, like Stacking Hits Records. And what's happening is that he's not producing any new artists. He got no new music really going out. So his record company is going under. And they're trying to buy him out. But him being so involved in the passion of the music and not wanting just to sell off everything and get a big payday. He really cares about it. He actually wants to buy out his partner to try to keep the business alive, basically. And he has a personal driver in Jeffrey White. And so what happens is
which is also his best friend.
Yeah, he's also his best friend, yes. And what happens is his son gets kidnapped. And they're trying to figure out how to get his son back. But then what they realize is it was mistaken identity. It's not his son that gets kidnapped. It's Jeffrey White's son that gets kidnapped. It doesn't specify whether the buyout is $17,500,000. I'm not necessarily sure, but that's the figure that they was used because, and when his son is kidnapped, the kidnapper is asking for a ransom of $17,500. So Denzel is really in the middle. After they find out the mistake, Denzel is really in the middle of, do I keep this money to keep my record business afloat because of the passion I have for it, or do I use this money to pay the ransom for a kid that's not mine and the kidnapper made a mistake? That's some crazy shit. So we do tackle with situations of classism in this movie as well. Now the question is,
okay. Question, real quick, not to interrupt. This is the regular review or the spoiler, or are we just talking like this regular review?
I'm going to try to be non-spoiler first, but you know what? Hold on. To be fair, I can throw some spoilers in here because it is on Apple TV now.
No, I'll hold it. We can do a spoiler review later. I hope I'm sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, but it does tackle issues of classism, and now you have to wonder, is Dave King going to do the same to save his best friend's son that he would for his son? So that's one of the big things that it is tackling here, and figuring out who was the one that was kidnapping these kids in the first place, and what they really about. We're gonna get all into that. So overall, Denzel is just Denzel. Denzel's a great actor. He's going to give it his all as Dave King, and I like his. I liked his he had like that old uncle mannerisms as well, but he just had the thing like, you know what, he got so much emotion in him that it's like even when he was doing all like the little gun points to the head, the gun points to the mouth, or when he was doing the little punching when when they was going to figure out who was one who really kidnapped the kids. So it's like he got so much emotion in him, but it's like he just loosely trying to let it out, but not really. He's trying to keep like a composure on it, but he's a man that is stressed. Okay, stressed. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I believe it. I feel like if this was like, I know Equalizer just came out, so I know he can still do action scenes. I just feel like in this, I feel like he wanted to be like take it to another level as far as action wise. It feels like I'm 70, so like I'm not gonna do all that.
Yeah, well, obviously we can tell when the stunt double for Denzel gets up in the picture, right?
But I'm saying, it's some parts of this movie. It's like, I don't want to say action scene would have been needed, but like this is more like a sort of a heist-ish type of thing. It's just like, I just feel like the story is okay and everything. I just feel like if there was a few more action scenes, there would not have been as many complaints as there was about this movie.
But you know what? Honestly, I'm not even going to say it needed some more action scenes. I think it needed more tense. Things just happened and didn't happen. But before I get into that, we're going to talk about his best friend and his chauffeur, also played by Jeffrey White. First of all, Jeffrey White is a powerhouse actor in himself anyway. So having Jeffrey White in the movie along with Denzel, they can feed off each other. And once again, like I said, this really tackles classism, which is something that, because Spike Lee be ready to tackle racism and anything, like he be ready, okay. But however, to see him tackle classism, which he has done something like that before, but I felt as though it was done a little bit differently in this one, and you can see how they treat Jeffrey White compared to David King, because David King is the millionaire, he's the popular one, and Jeffrey White is just the driver. So you can
I'm not
tell.
gonna lie. There was one scene in this movie that happened to Jeffrey Wright where I myself would have been. I don't know how I would have felt. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know how I would have felt.
I'm gonna tell you like this: as a father, I got it. I got it.
Not even that part. Not even those scenes. I'm gonna just put a little. It's the scene where they going to make the drop. Everybody else in the Escalade. Everybody else in a different car. Why am I getting in the back of a police car next to a policeman? Like I did it.
It can make you feel slightly uncomfortable. It can make you feel slightly uncomfortable. So
it's like he got on the Escalade. The people behind us in Escalades. It's only one police car. I don't know one that's in it in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I just
no. I feel you on that one. So as the movie's going on, like I said, we'll get to spoilers a little bit later in the review. But I'm just saying. But right now, the way that they were both great at acting, and it's you can't take that away from them. And the situation is because this is in the trailer. Like when Denzel's son is kidnapped, I'll put my fingers up with that. We're introduced to these three cops. The cops is we got Michael Potts, who plays like the main detective guy. We have LeChance and we have Mayhem. Who his real name is Dean Winters, but everybody knows him in the commercials as Mayhem. For what's it, the Allstate? Not Allstate. But you know the commercial I'm talking about, the insurance commercials.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I knew he looked familiar, but I thought he was from something else until literally like 5 minutes ago before we started recording. I was watching another review and I was like, "Oh, that is him."
Yeah.
The whole movie, I'm like, he looks familiar. I'm sitting here thinking he like in the old '80s movie or something, but no, he's the guy from the commercial. Oh, yeah.
Right. Now, I wanted to I bring up the cops because I wanted to bring this up because I know you don't watch a lot of documentaries, or if you do, you only watch because true crime is a thing these days. Like my wife is all up in the true crime, but he is one of the cops. LeChance is in here. That's her name. She plays Inspector Bell. But when I saw her, I was like, she looks familiar. If anybody saw the Spike Lee documentary, which was called New NYC Epicenters, it's his documentary, a 4-part documentary that's talking about the COVID-19 epidemic, going into the George Floyd killing, going into 9/11. This was the first time Spike Lee did a documentary about the 9/11 tragedy. When we're recording this, it is 9/11 right now. And I know it would get to the point, he interviewed her, and her husband was Calvin Gooding, who worked for Cantor Fitzgerald on the 104th floor of the North Tower, and he lost his life that day. He interviewed her, and she really, opened up and told a good story about it. And one thing I loved about it is because I watch a lot of 9/11 documentaries. I read a lot of 9/11 books because my curiosity just to know about this stuff. But a lot of one thing I did like Spike Lee did, he gave a lot of the floor to women and people of color to tell their stories, because a lot of times when you see out in the media or when you see in different documentaries, a lot of people of color, are not interviewed to tell stories, because black people died that day, Hispanic people died that day, Asian people, a lot of nationalities died that day, and you rarely get to see any of their stories. So when he highlighted her story, had her husband who worked at Cantor Fitzgerald and who lost his life on 104th floor, and she said she was an actress, he put her in one of his movies, and I just thought that was the coolest thing. Like I said, so a lot. If y'all didn't know the story behind that, that's why I had to bring up the police officers, because I thought that was such a cool thing. And when I showed my wife, I was like, "Hey, do you know who that is?" And because she saw the documentary with me, and her face seemed familiar, but when I told her, she's like, "That's awesome." That's what I like to see about people putting people on the block. Like, in other words, putting people on. That's how you put people on. And I was just appreciative of that. I just had to get that out there. But other than I thought she was cool.
Okay.
Mayhem, he was an asshole. He was the asshole white cop, which we thought Spike Lee was going to turn this into because Spike Lee could go to another way with this easily.
Yes, we could.
Yeah, but he did, and the main cop guy, he just bored the shit out of me. I was like, he really just bored the shit out of me. I was like, for all that, you could have got the Allstate guy. For all that, you know what I'm saying? But he just bored the hell out of me. So we are going to have to go into a little bit of slight spoilers here. So if you guys don't want to hear any spoilers, y'all be warned right now. But the movie's out on Apple TV because it's been out for about a month now. So make sure you guys go check it out. Listen. So the one who does the kidnapping is A$AP Rocky.
A$AP Rocky. He's not just a rapper, he's an actor.
I mean, it's alright, like...
A$AP Rocky is like the villain of this movie. He plays a rapper who was so big, he was such a big fan of David King, and he wanted to work with him, and he wanted to make songs with him and make so much money. And when he sent him a couple songs that David King didn't get back to him, he was in his feelings. He was hurt. He was broke. He was down here trying to grind. So he figured that if he kidnapped his son and get a ransom money for it, it'll make him pay attention to him. That's where we at here. And I'm going to tell y'all this right now. Listen, I understand everybody can't act, but A$AP Rocky, he just can't act.
Mm-mm.
He's not good. I'm sorry. And
he's A$AP Rocky. He might as well should have just been A$AP Rocky.
But here's the thing, though. I was just about to say that A$AP Rocky, when he had to be an urban youth off camera, he had that thing down pat. Like when he was talking to him on the phone. Like when he wasn't face to face with Denzel, and he was just talking on the phone, and then basically Spike, excuse my language, Spike just said, "Yo, just be a nigga." He had that down pat. He did it, and I was like, it was convincing. But then when him and Denzel got face to face, when Denzel confronted him, especially about kidnapping his son, his nephew, yeah, A$AP Rocky wasn't. The point of an actor is to convince me into the character, sell me on the character, and he wasn't doing none of that.
Not at all.
None of that at all. And I was just like, listen, I get it. You know, you wanted to have a rapper in here. I was like, damn, you could for all that, you could have got Joey Badass in here for that. I don't know why he went with A$AP Rocky.
Or you could have just had, say, an actor play a rapper. Just saying, could have did that too.
I mean, I understand that, but Spike is known for, like I said, put people on. Remember, I remember.
Why does A$AP Rocky need to be put on? He's married to a multi-billionaire. Putting him on for what?
Look. You right? I'm saying you right. I'm just saying, but it's like when Spike put Mos Def in this movie. Y'all seen Bay, but Mos Def was actually good.
I'm just saying, it's like putting somebody on. It's like what they did for that dude in Sinners. They put him on because he was a talented singer and actor.
Yeah. His
first ever project, he did Sinners. That's putting somebody on. It's not putting A$AP Rocky on. A$AP Rocky already is an established artist, been established artist for over 10 or 15-ish years, maybe. Married to a billionaire, like I said. He don't need to be put on like that. I'm gonna be honest, if it's somebody else, you know, you can say I ain't gonna say JID because he kind of still newer, but anybody else.
Well, like I said, Joey Badass been doing some acting. I thought he was solid when he was in Grownish. I was like, you can bring Joey Badass back. But I don't know what...
somebody.
Yeah, but A$AP Rocky wasn't working for me. And then especially on the train scene when him and Denzel have like the confrontation. And even when he tries to like I said, slight spoilers, off himself. And you're like, just let me die, man. I'm like, he convinced me, bro. Like, convince me like that you in pain right now. And then we just get his ass. I was like, it was the most non-selling ass kicking I've seen.
Are you gonna sell it? Sorry.
Look. Now, Prime, don't even lie to me. Was A$AP Rocky selling it or what?
No, he wasn't. That whole scene. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. That whole scene was kind of cringy to me when he seen him.
Yeah.
And he was in, and they was rapping back and forth to each other. I'm like, what is this, a rap battle?
Okay, no, I didn't mind that scene. But it
cringed me because we know Denzel is the mogul, but the whole movie he ain't show no signs of him doing any of that at all. He come out here, he all of a sudden hanging with a rap battle. I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to rap with you right now. You would threaten my son. Maybe got to pay you. I'm not trying to have no rap battle with you. What are you talking about?
No, I mean, I
Put
get
the gun on the table. I'm not rapping. I'm not rapping.
Prime. Look, I get what you're saying, right? But the thing is, he was like, I'm gonna into your world because the only way I'm gonna get any answers from you, because it's like, yo, fuck you, pussy, fuck you, niggas. That's all it was. That's all it was. He gonna be defensive and be mad. So I get it. But sometimes he's like, I'm gonna go into your world and talk your language so you can understand where the hell I'm coming from. That's what I'm saying.
At the same point, I'm gonna ask you 2 times. If you give me that on the 3rd time, anyway, all right.
Yeah, I'm just saying. But once again, you need somebody else to carry that scene, because you can still have all the language, have all the urban euphemisms in there, but you can still have a better trained actor to be able to carry that scene.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't because I was just like, okay, that was annoying. But
I didn't like that scene, and I didn't like the scene, the last scene of them 2 either.
You talk about getting his ass hit, or you talk about when he was in jail?
In jail.
Yeah, I didn't. First of all, I was just like, so what's the random music video going on right now, Spike?
That's probably A$AP Rocky's actual music video.
Okay, probably. I was like, okay,
because they build it off of that too.
Oh, okay.
They build it off of new music by A$AP.
Oh well, it's probably that. So yeah, he just wasn't working for me. Now they had cameos in the movie as well, and what I only got liked about
call them that, If you want to call them that.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Ice Spice was a cameo. Okay.
Oh well.
Ice Spice was a cameo.
Oh, you know what? Ice Spice was a cameo. So was Wendell Pierce.
Wendell Pierce had a small role. Okay, and here's the thing.
He was a cameo. He had one scene.
Here's the thing. I heard what you said. I listened. I was like, bro. First of all, they did not have him. Like Spike did not have him all up in the front like Tim Story had Roman Reigns in the front of the pickup.
Was he not? I seen his name in the credits in the front.
His name was in the credits, but it was like towards like one of the last names mentioned.
It's only like 6 important people in the movie.
No, but see, okay, you're going off a bias here. They showed all the important people at the beginning, and his name was in a list of 4 other people, or 3 other people.
Right.
So it was a list of
my bad.
It was a list of 4 people, and then after that they had one more set of names, and that was it. So he was towards the end, which Spike already showed you, like he's in the
Okay, that's why I thought he was an and. That's probably why I thought that.
No, now Tim Story's ass had Roman Reigns like the third name. In the pickup, big as hell, because his name is Roman Reigns, but his part was small. Spike like, hey, we respect Wendell Pierce, but his role is small. And when he came in there, Wendell still had an important role in the movie. It was small, but that's all it was. He played.
Okay,
game.
I thought he was an and.
No. So yeah, I looked at it. I was like, okay, no, his name was justified for the role that he had. That was he wasn't as short as Ice Spice, but he had a good, nice 3-5 minute role. And called it a day. So I was like, all right,
This is his 3rd or 4th movie this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
The man is out here working. And also, they had other cameos in the movie, but they played themselves. They had Rosie Perez, Anthony Ramos, and what's my man from, because Spike has used him before, and also he was in The Longest Yard. You know the one that was getting everybody hype on the train about the Yankees and Boston sucks?
First of all, can we just... This man really said, I love New York so bad and I hate the Celtics so bad.
So bad.
I am going to pause my movie just to put a Boston... And he looked right into the camera and said, Boston sucks.
Boston sucks. He don't like the Celtics. He don't like the Red Sox. He don't like... It's all New York bad. Like Spike took pride in that. Oh, shit, my bad. My corrections also, when I was sitting here looking at the list and trying to figure out my man's name. Oh, Nicholas Toronto. But also I made a mistake about the cop.
And Rick Fox too.
Yes, Rick Fox played himself because Rick Fox played his son's basketball coach. So, like I said, he's still Rick Fox. John Douglas Thomas is the one that plays the 3rd cop. And I made a mistake earlier when I said it was Michael Potts, so I do apologize about that. I want to get that out the way right now. So they had real cameos in the movie that was playing themselves. Also, especially when they had like the Puerto Rican Day Festival, which I liked that scene where he was on the train on the train to drop the money off. I like that whole scene. I thought it was cool, but here's my biggest thing. I think the problem is people walked into this movie expecting something crazy, or when I say crazy, I'm talking about like big and epic and stuff like that. And I was like, the movie is not bad, but it doesn't meet the Spike and Denzel type of movies that they had. But to be honest with you, if I had to put it on a level, this thing is like floating on a level of Mo Better Blues or He Got Game. It's floating on that level. Now once again, when you look at the two best movies he did with Denzel, Inside Man, it wasn't going to. You're not touching Inside Man, okay? Inside Man is one of the best heist movies ever made. So you're not going to touch Inside Man. And then Malcolm X is, in my personal opinion, is Spike Lee's best movie. He took care of that. That's one of the best biopics ever to be made of anyone. And especially when you had the autobiography of Malcolm X as told to Alex Haley, that is one of the best biopics ever. So obviously, I didn't go in there with the expectation of saying that this is going to be on the level of Malcolm X or on the level of Inside Man. I was like, but it needed to be a solid film. And I thought it was a solid film, but the problem is when it came, I felt as though the thing that was missing from this movie the most was the tension. I think I heard you said need some more action scenes because once again, ASAP Rocky wasn't selling that ass whooping like I wanted him to at the end. But not only this, it didn't.
There's not any one-ups either though. There's like they quote unquote kidnapped him, but they didn't really have no one-up on him. Like there was really not really anything that's like they got away with the money, but it wasn't really nothing where it's like I don't know, just different.
Yeah, it's like there was nothing different to the point where there was no tension in the kidnapping. There was no tension in them having him kidnapped. Because we only see one scene of Jeffrey White's son tied up in the bathtub. We didn't even see them in a record. He wanted to keep it a mystery of who it was. I'm like, you know who it was. You talk about a voice. You already knew who it was. But there was no tension. There was no torturing. And then, once again, Denzel just got his son back. Jeffrey White just got his son back. They stole the money, and then they figured out who it was. And then when they go to confront him, they get their money back. And it was like there was no fight out. There was no gang warfare. It was just so simple and so easy to put a cap on everything. I was like, it's lacking tension. It's lacking that. It's lacking that suspense factor. It's lacking the fact of. Are they going to make it? Are they not going to kill his son? Or are they? It was like, this has just been the easiest shit. I'm just like, bro, there was no to the point where I was sitting there stressing. That's what I think was missing from the movie. When you look at all the other Denzel projects that they have made, there is a stress level factor to it, or some type of conflict that you want to see if the character's going to get out of. There was no doubt in my mind that I was like, after when they realized that they switched the sons, I was just like, and first of all, it was a point like, well, is Denzel going to help Jeffrey White at one point? And there was like, all right, yeah.
Like I said, the first 30 minutes, I thought he was the villain because there's also another scene like he's trying to get his company back and everything. There's another scene with his wife, and he was like, yeah, I'm about a company back. She was like, oh, but I thought we were gonna wind down and relax a little bit and go on vacations. Like he's like, oh, I changed my mind. So yeah, deal with it, basically. And I was like, dang, you just gonna change your mind day of and not say nothing, buy the whole company back and just go broke? Like, not go broke, but like you gonna have to sell your house and all this to recover. And you ain't even talk about it with her. You just made the decision.
Exactly. And I was like, it's built, and I'm like, I want him to capitalize on that tension to the point where it's like, well, if he didn't answer by a certain time, and maybe he fakes him out, you hear some gunshots, and Jeffrey White, like, build tension. And I think that's the one thing it was lacking. And once again, even when they try to have the tension scenes, like when he whooped A$AP Rocky's ass, I was like, bro, that was the easiest ass whooping ever. Mm-hmm. He barely fought back. I was like, who is this guy?
It's easy. Also, with it being Disney, I don't know if to tell his character in his 50s or his 70s. Like, because of how easy that was.
Exactly. I mean, he straight whooped his ass on the train, and I'm just like, there's no tension. There's no, especially when they out there fighting in the middle of the train. I was like, man, I thought that we were gonna have some like bullet train type stuff here. You had a whole team to sit there and hot potato the bag of money to hide it, but yet you ain't got no whole team to protect you. Like I was like, there should be something more than ASAP Rocky shooting out the window talking about something. There's glass in my eye. I'm like, that's it, guys. I do recommend if you have Apple TV, go out there and check it out on Apple TV. I recommend you go out there and check it on Apple TV. Also, make sure you guys, like I said, I think it's a solid movie. If you're a fan of Spike Lee, I think you'll like the movie. Like I said, hashtag give it a chance. I think give it about a C. It's not. If I have to rank the Spike Lee and Denzel movies, this is number 5. It's number 5 for me, but it doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It's just number 5. It's just like, first of all,
no, it's solid. It's solid,
yeah. And like I think I feel as though like Spike had some misses. Okay, like this ain't Chirac. Okay, but this ain't Black Klansman neither.